on the game, and we're really excited to have you here today because we're going to reveal everything that is going to be in our closed beta. But before we begin, I'd like to invite our live producer, Thomas, to come have a little chat with me. I'm Thomas, here you go, about our technical test. First off, how are you? Because we're going to reveal everything. Because we're going to reveal everything that is going to be. Yeah, because as you might have seen on the forums or somewhere, because some people have been discussing it, we're currently doing a technical test. Thomas, can you explain to us first off what is the technical test?
So we started on Monday.
Yeah, because
3 days
as
of
you
technical
might
test.
have,
The reason for this is somewhere it's going to be a big thing for us. A lot of people are coming in, and we want to tweak a few things, see where we're at as far as the experiences. So we started on matchmaking. Lots of great feedback. We're super happy about this. A couple things came out of it. Right now, we are realizing that the way we implement matchmaking, usually 60% of people pushing matchmaking will get into the game, which is below lots to achieve. But lots of great feedback. I think it's still worthwhile to move forward a couple of things to get more data and see how things are working. And matchmaking time is roughly around 50 to 60 seconds. Again, it's a little higher than what we expected, but we're moving forward. I want to learn more, get feedback from players, and improve.
And how will that affect players basically trying to play our game?
Right now, what we see is people should try to wait 60 to 90 seconds, and if they still don't get into the game, they should back out and come back in. It could take some time. We ask people to be patient right now and try to see right now because everybody that has got in the game so far is really enjoying it a lot. So it's a little rough on the edges, but we still think it's worth it.
And it's important data for us because we're trying to gather feedback, but also cold data so that we can use that moving forward. And besides that, why are we having those issues, Thomas?
Good question.
Explain to our viewers.
Good question. The reason for the technical test was because we're trying something new. We know Rainbow Six is very much focusing on teamwork, working together to complete the game, and we are trying a new way of approaching matchmaking, which is a good question that take us first. The reason for the technical test was while we implemented this, and now that we are having it during the technical test, we are seeing a few issues on the floor. We are trying a new way of we are some of the criteria a little too harsh. That was why it's taking a couple steps and people and we have certain errors. We're in the right direction. We're learning a lot on the design and having it.
Yeah, because we already did a couple patches and updates, so we're already reacting to what we're doing.
Yeah, we've tried a few things. So it's going to improve. We're learning a lot. We'll learn a lot more during closed beta. We're in the right direction. And this is really going to be very helpful.
Yeah, because we already did, speaking of matchmaking, that you're touching upon this, I've seen on the subreddit, even though people were not supposed to discuss it, it ended up on the subreddit. They were asking about like host migration, because we do see that notice sometimes when people are trying to queue together. Can you explain what that is? Because we did announce that we have dedicated servers
yes.
on the subreddit, even though people were not supposed to discuss it.
Like I explained, join your progress is for the teams. So we put people in a team first, and then people will match into a game on a dedicated server. That team is a session that does require the host for people to communicate. So when you see that message, what really happens is the host left the party, and you're trying to join another first, and then the party stays together, and continue the game. So that's
so it's not the game that is hosted.
The game is on the dedicated server.
It is on the dedicated server. Alright, now that we cleared the air, what's coming up next for us? I believe a closed beta.
Yeah. So closed beta is starting tomorrow. We're letting more people in. NDA are being lifted. So enjoy it. Be patient.
Now it is. We can talk about it on our forums, like the public forums, on subreddit. We can create content. What's coming up next?
Yeah. So closed beta is starting tomorrow. We'll be watching this tomorrow, staying on top of it, and enjoy it. Be patient. Like I said, it's be patient, try and keep trying, and enjoy the game because once you're in, it's super fun, and any learnings from that phase is going to help us staying on top of it,
All right, well, thank you a lot, Thomas, and now I shall explain what is the content that people are going to be playing. So yes, you can
enjoy the game.
Okay, all right. So what are we going to be seeing today? Let's get a little bit more excited now that we got this over with. So we're going to be having some veterans coming back to play with us today to show us the content. We will be playing PvP against our dev team. We will also be showing the PvE that will be coming into the closed beta as a patch at some point. The PvE should be added, so you're going to be able to play Terrorist on Classic. We're also going to be discussing all the game modes, all the maps that will be available in the closed beta, so stay tuned with us. And we will be answering your questions, so make sure to tweet at us hashtag Range at some point. We're going to be myself and the devs will be answering those. We're also so stay tuned, and I'm going to kick it off to a little video to get you started with the closed beta. And we will be answering your questions, and we will be answering your questions. So make hashtag Range to tweet at us, myself and the devs will stay tuned, and I'm going to kick it off to a little video to get you started with video to get you started. Level designer, so a good little forum here to discuss what's in our closed beta. So let's get started. Which content is on our closed beta? Then I'll give you the honor of level artist telling everyone.
You kind of brushed a bit the content earlier. We're going to have, in terms of really more details, we're going to have 14 operators
Which content? I'll give you the honor.
3 game modes, 2 PvP, so 2 multiplayer game modes, area and disarm bomb that we're going to have later. And as you said, we're going to have terrorist hunt for the first time, so co-op beta, playable 3 game modes, 2 PvP. Also, we're testing for the first time progression.
Aha, that was my follow-up with it. When people boot up the game, start the closed beta, what do they do? Like, what are they greeted with? What are they going to be doing?
So everybody will still start as recruit. Also, we're testing in the closed alpha.
That was my follow-up with it. That was my follow-up with it.
Closed beta, we want the same experience that we want at launch.
What do they do? What are they greeted? What do they do? Like, what are they greeted?
And whatever you play,
everybody
co-op, terrorist hunt, or multiplayer, in the closed alpha, you get what we call renown. And with the renown, you can unlock the roster of operator with the choice group, so you can unlock whatever operator you want with the renown. And whatever you play,
I was blown away too because we're so used to playing with the operators here. When you hop in game and you only have a recruit, you're like, oh god, I feel naked. So grinding for that first operator makes a big difference. But it was really cool to have to start with a recruit and not play the game I'm used to.
There's one thing. One reason why
you hop in game here, you only have a recruit, you're like, oh god, you only have a recruit, you're like, oh god, grinding for that first operator. So grinding for that first operator.
Want to avoid as much as possible the grind and not play the It's really a progression. We really want the players to start learning the game and unlocking their roster and progress within the renown game.
Yeah, so we're going to be balancing that a little bit, possibly seeing if people want to wait more before unlocking things, or think it's too fast, too short, or just right.
Yeah, the goal is really to get that magic number where it feels fine, but it doesn't feel grindy.
Yeah, so we're going to be balancing that a little. Yeah, so we're going to be balancing that a little bit, possibly seeing want to wait more before. And you can also unlock other things, right? You just don't have operators. You can also have weapon attachments, and you can also have skins.
Yeah, it feels fine, but skins also we're testing out skins. The goal is really, do I want to open my roster as much as possible and have a lot of operators, or do I want to specialize within one operator? So You can unlock one operator and start buying, putting attachments to really kind of progress within the goal is really leave the choice open my roster.
And what's nice too is that the weapons, the renown for the attachments are not too expensive, so you can kind of get your guns going pretty quickly. You know, everybody is not really accustomed to having the base sight, so getting a nice sight on there too is not too expensive.
Yeah, and the goal is if you really like that operator, you basically unlock everything about within that operator.
So you kind of get your guns going.
Yeah, and since the closed alpha, actually, we have introduced new operators, but also removed a couple. So let's talk about that a little bit. We added all the GSG9. For the first time, we have IQ playable, which is an operator that has never been played before, not even at an event. Well, we did play it, but the closed alpha, and besides that, we have some appointment added into the game as well.
Yes, we've added Montagne, which is the giant appointment. He's really the archetype of appointment. His gadget is expendable shield, so he can expend his shield and become like really completely oblivious to bullets. But he cannot shoot.
So it's really a team player.
Exactly, like he takes point really, and he blocks everything, and he goes in doorways. And we have Blitz, GSG9, which is more, he has a flash shield, we call it. So his appointment, and he can use it to flash enemies. Kind of a flashbang within the shield.
So really good for coming into places.
Yeah, it's more aggressive than Montagne. It's really, I go in and I flash everybody, and my team comes in. It's really more aggressive gameplay.
And from what I understand, we changed the shield too, the way the shield works.
Yes.
Yeah, between closed alpha and now.
Yeah, the closed alpha was really good for us because we saw how even if it was only on recruit, the shield, we saw how OP it was. Because
Everyone's gonna get a shield.
No,
now.
the closed alpha was really good for that. So basically, what we had before is that when you would ADS, you would be more protected. So it was like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you had no basically incentive to not ADS.
Exactly, and you could really aim for the head and be completely protected.
Yeah.
So what we did for the beta that you'll see is that we've inverted the stances. So now if you ADS, you bring back your shield, you bring down your shield, so you expose your head. So it's really, do I hip fire and have a bad accuracy? Or do I try to aim, then expose my head, and then a good defender can...
So it's more of a tactical choice than
exactly.
Before it was an obvious choice, now it's a tactical choice.
Exactly.
All right, and besides that, we will have different game modes that are going to be playable for the first time in PvP, such as Bomb. Nobody ever played Bomb in PvP, so it's going to be super interesting to see that.
And in a different map as well. Consulate, one of the biggest map we've shown so far. In Plan Bomb is going to be super different from Rescue Hostage. You have two objectives. You need to really think out how you're going to spend your resources, because the map is bigger, the objectives are spread, and each barricade has a plus value.
Then the gadgets too.
Yeah.
And
Do you want to
do you spread out? Do you concentrate?
Do you play bunker? It has a different style.
You really need to spread out actually, and that's where the communication is really important in that game mode. It's it's my favorite game mode personally, because it's really you need to create that sort of bunker, but separated in two objectives.
Yeah.
And
what's cool too is that we have Consulate where you can actually have the objective in one room with the breach charge to go down to the other room and kind of cover both rooms vertically too through the trap doors. So the bomb mode is fantastic. The split like that it's something else.
And it emphasizes even more on I gotta control that choke point between my two rooms, and so it adds really more strategies.
Yes,
I think this defense are actually going to be taking down some of the walls now to do that, to be able to put the objectives closer together and
destruction.
Exactly, just to kind of get access to the two objectives quicker.
In the technical tests, people are doing way more defensive destruction now,
creating new paths that the attackers wouldn't expect you to be able to navigate through.
Exactly.
You create your own flow. You create it's
Yeah, and also, we're going to have two game modes. We're going to have Bomb, and also we're going to have Secure Area. And for the maps, we're going to be bringing back some of the maps we showed before. So House will be back, and Hereford Base will be back. Plain, however, not today, but It will be back also for when we launch the game on December 1st.
And day and night as well.
And both day and night.
Yeah. All maps will be playable day and night during closed beta. They will be playable on all game modes, so secure area, bomb, or also terrorist hunt once that comes out during closed beta. All right, so let's get into a little video that is gonna introduce the team that will be facing your team actually, because you will be playing with the dev team, and on the other side we're gonna have some veterans coming up. So I have a short video that shows basically what happened at Gamescom, because the veterans were bringing one Gamescom by facing other teams that were composed of the best players from the alpha. So should be a pretty good match. It's
gonna be interesting. We're gonna take a revenge of the last live stream.
Suck. Please don't.
You're representing here. You're representing.
They're good. Honestly, they're picking up the game super fast.
Don't try finding excuses.
No.
It's all
we're gonna bring their best. That's for sure.
All right. Well, let's kick it off to get the Gamescom video, and then we're gonna shortly get into our first match.
We are here live from Cologne, Germany. You are watching Rainbow Six Siege.
Double checking. Oh, that nade's going to be... Oh, beautiful! UAK, and now 2 players to fight. Oh, my God, that's... And the veterans just pick up a round in true style.
We were scared for a second, but yeah, we pulled it through.
We're going into our final. It's time for the green and blue team.
The German team looks tough.
Yeah, I mean, they're using the map to their whole advantage. It is time, though, for our first game. Oh, Finest X just can't be stopped with the defenders. Rogue Warchief, can you stop?
Did that again. Very nice.
Second headshot, Rogue Warchief. Somebody stop this man. And who better than the seasoned veteran in more ways than one? It's Lucarian. Smoke looking incredibly low. Oh, my God, that's a double. It's down to a 1v1 every single time. He's going to get pushed down. It's all a numbers game. And he's going to find one, just one, as Finest secures it, as do the veterans, and it's a 2-0 sweep. The winners of the Rainbow Siege Grand Finals here at Gamescom is the veterans.
Very cool. Very well played.
And speaking of the veterans, they are here with us today, so let's introduce them. The winners of our Gamescom ESL show match, and also the winners of a lot of tournaments of Rainbow Six previously. So let's give it up for them. Guys, come on in and let's introduce yourselves. Tell me hi. Tell me your name, your username, and your achievements in Rainbow Six and in Siege specifically.
My name is Mark Rios, also known as Blood and Glory. And my biggest Rainbow Six achievement, I have the most championships in Rainbow Six history. And my biggest Gamescom achievement, Siege achievement was winning Gamescom.
All right, well, that's a good start.
I think so, thank you.
Go take your spot.
Yes, my name is Jerry Torres, a.k.a. J Who, J Cash. I'm a back-to-back 3-time national champion, which is a very accomplishment. And yesterday, Siege was the first time I played the game, but like you said, we're veterans, so I'll adjust to it.
Yeah, you started practicing yesterday.
Yes.
I saw you practicing real late, so
yeah, very late.
We'll see how that goes.
Hi, my name is David Park, aka Game Over. I won 2 Rainbow Six championships. I also got invited to Road to Montreal.
Yeah.
Yep. And we also recently won Gamescom.
All right, so that's a lot of wins. And you, Bernardo, you are also at Road to Montreal.
Yeah, I'm Compact Killer. I played pretty good in the tech test alpha.
In the closed alpha, yeah, you were the best North American player of the closed alpha.
Yeah,
you're very humble for what you achieved.
Yeah, so I got invited to Montreal and took it home for Team Tactical. So I know the devs are coming for blood, so I'm ready.
All right, but let's see if you can beat them again. Last but not least, our team captain for the veterans.
My name is Sean. I play as Rogue Warchief, and I'm excited. I'm a 4-time champion, 5 if you count our victory over Germany at Gamescom, and we're excited to give the devs a good match here.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck, go take your seats. And now let's introduce our dev team, who are called Team Devs. Very original. So let's start with you. Tell us what's your role on the dev team, what's your name and username?
My name's Sam Elder. I'm an assistant tech director on the dev team, and my username is Robot Garden.
All right. And you have any words for your opponents?
We're coming.
All right. They're coming.
Hi, my name is Kevin, a.k.a. Wall of China, and I'm a dev tester, and I'm ready to fight them.
All right. So you have the experience of playing a lot, and he's got the map knowledge.
Yep.
All right.
I think we're going to win.
Okay. Some confident players here. And Jacques.
Hey, my name is Jacques. My nickname is Akira. I'm a level designer on the project, so yeah, I can't wait to beat them this time.
Aha!
Good luck, have fun.
The rematch is happening.
My name is Vadi. I'm a dev tester. My name is Tempest. And yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be a fun game.
All right, and last but not least, we have Naj, team captain for the dev team.
Ready to beat them this time. I think it's going to be a big match.
Today is the day?
Yeah, it's the revenge time.
All right, today is the day. Go take your
nickname Sec.
Oh, nickname Sec. Good luck, have fun. And now that we have introduced the team, we are going to introduce your commentators. It's going to be Chris Hendry, our level artist that you met just earlier today or in other live streams, as well as Machine, who was the one casting at Gamescom. So let's give it up for them.
Thanks very much, Jen. As you already said, I will reiterate one more time. I am Alex Machine Richardson, and he is Chris Hendry, senior level artist. I'm going to get it right throughout this entire broadcast.
Nice job. Got it this time around.
At Gamescom, I was like, this is Chris, the senior level artist, but we are ready and waiting to jump on into the action, and it's a real pleasure to be able to see the game right before beta launch. Like this is kicking off tomorrow. You're going to have to get your hands on it if you have applied. Of course, if you are going to be playing it, be sure to get in touch with us over on the hashtag Rainbow6. It's going to be great to get your questions, which we will be answering later on in the broadcast. But it's already been said, we're kicking off our first game. It's going to be on Consulate, and we're going to be playing a new game type, or at least a new game type to me, Chris.
Yeah, we talked about it, actually Naj spoke about it a little bit before, disarm bombs. So the defenders have two objectives that they need to defend. They need to spread out their traps, their reinforcements, their barricades, really set up properly, and the attackers have to take the objective. So it's kind of cool to see how the attackers split up, how the defenders split up. We haven't really seen this before. Consulate is a great map for it too. It's very long, so it's gonna be fun to watch.
It's definitely one of the more recognizable game types, of course, away from your secure, what's the official term?
Area.
Yeah, secure area.
Yep.
That's of course what we saw most of, and we're going to be seeing more of that today as well. But with this one, this is something that a lot of people can jump in and immediately kind of understand exactly what the objectives are. It's very clear cut.
It's easy to read, yeah, exactly.
Easy to read, exactly, and that's probably what a lot of people will most likely find themselves diving into straight away.
That's it. The big thing here is the management. The management of the reinforced walls, the gadgets, how to allocate your players and how you want to defend. So that is the big deal here, and it's curious to see how they handle it.
And I mean, if you guys are new, as in you haven't played Rainbow Six titles before as well, it does of course cater to that. But coming into this one, the main things that you guys need to know. So there's a new viewer right now, Chris. What do they need to know before we jump on into the action?
If it looks like it breaks, there's a good chance it breaks.
Okay.
They're getting ready. They're getting pumped up.
I can hear some hype.
Lastly, I mean, I won't get into it because they're going to get into it, but communication is key. Talk to your teammates. Yeah. It is the big difference.
So, I mean, and that has definitely been the case for all of the previous playtests that I've been able to witness, even in the rehearsals as well. We saw the teams that communicate the best are the teams that do triumph. And that's, of course, going to be a big part when it comes to comming in your own games. But we are going to be jumping onto this one very, very shortly. You can see the loading screen. So let's just pop that up on your screen so we can talk a little bit about what rosters, what operators are going to be coming into our first game on Consulate. Oh, we missed it, but we are going to be able to see, of course, at the top half of the screen. So we'll start with the attacking side, and we can walk through some of the operators that you can see there.
Blue 4 has discovered the location of the bomb.
So right now, however, we are watching Bandit. Bandit is one of the newer ones that we have introduced. Most of the operators on the defending team has barbed wire. You see Bandit himself dropping one right there. So your teammates can drop barbed wire. Bandit comes along and he puts in a battery, and it electrifies the barbed wire, and then it becomes lethal. So the only way to get by this is to kill the battery first, but you're still slowed down in the barbed wire.
And another thing, of course, you guys need to notice is that timer. You do start with about a 40-second timer for both attack and defense, and there's two very different roles within those 40 seconds. Attack, you're all on the scout. You're all about the hunt. You're all about finding as much information as you can. Defense, they're setting up the barbed wire.
Exactly. So at the beginning of the round, we didn't see too much of it, but you have a drone. The attackers have a drone. You need to find the objectives. In this case, there are two objectives, so they need to spread out, find it, and then choose one to either approach or find out what's going on. And there you saw he took out a camera. So the defenders have a camera on the outside, and it gives visibility completely. So he did a good job there of taking that out.
Yeah, so this is where you're going to be seeing the calm before the storm. You can see the setup. They are kind of just securing the perimeter, as you said, destroying as much as they can in terms of extra intel for the defenders.
Now, a good defender initially would start off on that camera and know where they're spawning from, give or take. So I think that's why they're slowing it down. They were likely spotted, and they know that, so they're kind of changing their course of action.
So this is going to be the breach then, preparing himself It's going to be triggering that. Looks like they're actually all going to be hitting from one direction. I think has that applying the breach made enough noise for them to kind of get an idea, or is it the explosion?
The explosion, they'll hear it.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, they're a little bit far, but they'll still hear it. When you are closer to it, you can actually hear them putting the breach charge up on the wall. I've been playing the technical test, and people have heard me doing that on a barricade, and they've shot me through the barricade, so you can't hear it.
I mean, they're sticking together. 4 players, all just holding hands. It's the dev team who looking to push on in together, push as a unit. That was the question we raised beforehand, was, you know, how much... Oh, look at that. So on the other side, I think Blood and Glory just lying. He's actually created his own line of sight through the wall, and it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, that's a nice little peek hole right there. He's waiting downstairs in the basement. I don't know what the attackers are doing. I think they found the objective, however, so they're kind of, like you said, working as a team and taking their time right now.
So, I mean, surely it's fair to assume if they are a level above where the bombs are, it's going to be a hit from above.
Exactly,
Look at this is going to be the breach down into the basement area, and it does look like they're going to be going in Washington. I thought they were going to push them together. Instead, they're going to blow it and continue to watch the time tick away.
This is going to force the defenders to kind of keep an eye there. And there you see right there, he's got a line of sight. But with our new shield, he cannot accurately aim from that far.
You can see he's desperately trying to connect the bullets. Fortunately, his teammates are able to fill up where he left off. And that's going to be the payoff. Fortunately, we do see Blood first draw. It's actually been Robot Garden then who does take down the leader of the veterans. It's Rogue Warchief then who's forced to watch as Blood and Glory fights straight on back. And you see J-Catch desperately trying to connect the bullets. His spray control is a little lackluster though. Blood and Glory is the one making it all happen. As you can see, he's just catching the perfect angle at the top of that staircase. The devs surely going to be ripped apart. They are. It's 4 vs 2. This is the down but not out mechanic that I think is most definitely worth addressing.
Yeah, so right now he's moving away to try to get away from the action, let his teammate follow up and feel him afterwards. His life is slowly going down. You can slow it down even more by holding your heart.
What?
There you go.
I'm sorry to step over. Okay, so that was looking very, very good. All of a sudden, the devs just pick up 4 frags in like 4 seconds. So
I don't even know what happened there, really. I didn't see.
I don't think any of us do.
No.
Frags went left, right, and center, and the developers have picked up their first round. Now, you said before, or excuse me, I was talking to the players, and the first thing they said to me was, yeah, it's pretty obvious that the devs are not showing us what they've got in store for us. Because, of course, they played a couple of practice games, making sure everything's working, and it was like, yeah, they're not playing properly.
They probably were holding a little bit back.
I would be surprised.
I think, I mean, there's certain people who are trying a little bit harder, but so I think that in general they're holding back a little bit, and I mean that round was pretty solid.
Right, so let's walk through the operators once again. Then on the blue team we're going to be seeing Doc, Smoke, Mute, Jaeger, and Bandit, and for the attackers, Thermite, IQ, Sledge, Fuse, and Twitch. I'd like to talk about Thermite because he's such an integral part of the attack. It's almost, you're never going to see an attack without a Thermite because of his innate ability to break through barriers.
Yeah, so he's essentially a must-have for the attacking team. What I mentioned earlier with the reinforced walls, Thermite is the only person, the only operator who can take down these reinforcement walls with his Thermite charge. So if we see one of the reinforcement walls close to the objective, you can head over there to the objective room now. I'll show you real quick what the reinforced wall looks like. Yeah, so you see those dark walls right there? Those are the reinforcement walls, and that is what Thermite, he's the only operator that can take them out, and he has 2 of them, I believe. So essential to the team. If he doesn't take those out, you cannot get into the objective room, and he has to stay safe, otherwise they will not be able to get in.
So keeping the protect the Thermite most definitely could be something to consider. As we are kicking off then into our second round. It's best of 7 in this one. If you are playing the beta though, it will be played best of 5. As already, first blood is drawn. Wall of China's the one to take down J-Cash, of course, an integral part of the veterans in the first round, picking up 2 frags. Now though, Doc is going to be picked up by Sec, and that's this is an intriguing class, at least intriguing to me because of this distant revive mechanic. There's so much going on with all these operators, and hoping to see some kind of medic play from Doc.
Yeah, and medic also has his self-revive too, which no other operator has. Extremely useful. You can crawl away too in your DBNO, so if you go down, crawl away around the corner, revive yourself, you're good to go again and help out your team.
That's insane. So I mean, you can almost imagine Doc working alongside a Thermite so that he can play a little bit more risque. Now, to it feels like they're kind of stumbling to find a way in. We saw that their previous attempt was to all come down and hit the basement as a group. Doesn't look like the same can be said for Compact Killer and the gang.
No, they're still outside here. They haven't even come into the building yet. I don't know if that first round shook them up a little bit, but they're taking their sweet time here. There's 3 guys on the outside. I don't know where the 4th one is. Maybe he's kind of scouting on the. But yeah, really slow. You got 2.5 minutes now on the clock.
Yeah, but they do, of course, it's all about getting that bomb down. Rogue Warchief, who we are currently on board with, is the man with the explosives in his hands. So it's going to come down to how him and his team can manipulate this one. Now, leaving the roof, we were saying before we kind of went live, talking about how prominent the roof could be, and we'll actually talk about that in a second, because he is going to be, if he'd have held fire just a second, we could have seen a little bit more, but already 2 attackers down. This is going to really hinder their chances into getting that bomb down.
Yeah, so I think what they're doing is they're getting the scouting information. I don't think they got enough of it in the pre-rounds, so I think they had one guy throw the drone in, kind of scout out what's going on, and now they know where they are, and they're just taking their time.
Yeah, now, surely this is going to play into the devs' favor. You can see the Compact Killer, who of course was highlighted by Jen, that he was the standout individual, lead #1 in North America in the tests. Let's go ahead and take down that camera now.
Yeah, there's another camera down.
It feels like we've seen this round take such a slow pace. However, there's still 1:40 on the clock. They can still run their way in towards the site, but I mean, surely losing your numbers so early in such a team-based game is going to really hinder.
Yeah, they're at a really big disadvantage now. I mean, 2 men down, 1.5 on the clock. They're going to have to push in at the same time, which stresses them out, which forces them to make mistakes, and they're at a really big disadvantage now.
It does sound like they've located the bomb, though. You can see Rogue Warchief is just side by side with one of his opponents.
Yeah, he managed to sneak in here, and now another one.
This could get pretty deadly. Now, 11 meters from the bomb. They've got so much time to get the bomb down. It's going to get caught out. Who on earth was that? It's Sek. Walked into their trap, expecting a second one around that corner. In fact, I think they caught a glimpse. Game Over did go down, but I think he's back up.
That's a smart move there, crossing the door.
Oh, Compact Killer, that's 3. Oh my god, the bodies are going to keep dropping. That's another one. And suddenly, this is turned around, back and forth we go. 2 versus 1, now 1 versus 1. Compact Killer gets the clutch. Oh my lord, so many frags in such a short space of time. And Compact Killer prevails in a 1 versus 2.
Oh man, they're not going to be happy about that one. Ooh. That was a 5-on-3, and then, oof.
I mean, the floodgates opened when Sek pushed into the room right by the site. I mean, there's no way he was anticipating 2 players just bellies on the floor, crawling their way into the objective.
That's it. I mean, you come into a room, you don't think to look down to them proning. Typically, they're there, you can see their heads, but they were both prone on the ground, caught them off guard, and that is really sad, actually.
I mean, big plays from Compact Killer, though. Yeah. I mean, it's sad for you, of course, fellow developer, but as me, representing the veterans somehow, even though I most definitely am not one. Going in, though, we are going to be seeing a couple of changes, I think. I don't think we saw... Did we see Pulse before? Is that a new addition?
Pulse was not in the round so far, I don't believe, no. But Pulse is, he's kind of more of the controversial one, but we have played with him around a little bit, which is also why we introduced IQ. IQ is a direct counter to Pulse. So IQ has, she can see gadgets through the wall, whereas Pulse 3 sees heartbeats, and IQ can actually see Pulse's gadget to counter it.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be kind of a necessity when it comes to Pulse and having such an influential role essentially in the game. It's time for the scouting, though. We are going to be seeing the time ticking away, and somehow Akira's drone has gone relatively unnoticed, trying to find himself in a good position. I think he's going to actually be in good stead to find the bomb here. 20 seconds still. He's going to get spotted. Oh, and eliminated before he cast his eyes on the bomb. So that's big. Big defense coming up. And as you were saying, we were kind of addressing what Pulse exactly does. Pulse has... it's essentially like a kind of...
it's a sonar, essentially.
A sonar.
Yeah, there's a proximity to it. So if somebody was within, I don't know the exact range, but say 10 meters, you get a pulse of their heartbeats, and then you can see them, and then it goes away again. So you have to keep it up. You don't have a gun out while you have the gadget active either, and you are pretty much vulnerable while you're using it.
All right, then. So drone's still going on through. You're going to be seeing him trying to gather as much intel as he can. He's certainly got his info on the bomb at this point.
Yeah. And that was used after the prep phase too, so they didn't get all the information that they needed. They decided to use a drone that got in there or throw another one. Every single attacker has 2 drones to use, one during the prep phase and one when you're actually in the action.
And on the other side of things, when it comes to what you kind of initially get equipped with, everyone has unlimited kind of default blockades. Is that correct?
That's barricades, correct. Yeah, barricades. Yeah, all the defenders have unlimited barricades for the doors and the windows.
And that, of course, forces the attacking team to make noise, to kind of reveal their location in order to get some line of sight. Talking of line of sight, you can see Sek casting his eyes in towards the room. Nothing going to be given to him, though, because it does look like the defenders quite happy just waiting on that one level. I don't think there's any multi-level play really from them. You can see 4 of them all in that basement area.
I don't know if I entirely agree with this. They're not going from the top floor and clearing their way down. They're actually on the main floor. And you're exposed from both the basement and the top floor. So I don't entirely agree with this idea here.
Who's going to be the first on the scene? That's going to be the real question. You can see they are starting to go even higher, in fact. And while they do go on this kind of search and discover mission, the defenders are just getting more and more comfortable.
Yeah. Which also gives them more time to set up their traps if they haven't, to put more barricades up, to make more line of sight, to hide. So the attackers right now give them a lot of time.
This is good from Wall of China. This is really good because he's not only destroyed the jammer, destroyed as much equipment as he can, he's also getting information. He's getting the right level. I think it's Compact Killer he's having a little 1v1 with, but as Blitz, he has his shield up. He's not necessarily got the most accurate pistol with the hip fire, but information gathered and cameras continuing to get destroyed, removing some tools from the defender's belt.
This I like a lot right now. This is Thermite here, and you can see those little prongs sticking through the garage door. Only Thermite can take this out. Those are the reinforced walls. So what happened is that China's side saw this guy down here, and now Thermite came outside to expose him. And there you see the defender running away. I think he heard it. I think he knows it's coming.
They know what's coming.
Yeah.
And of course they're going to have to play the numbers game because Akira, as soon as he blows that, all eyes are going to be on him. That could be the prime time for the devs to push in.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Akira for a second here. I want to see when he blows that charge. Let's find out where the rest of his team is too. I want to see where they come from. I don't know if they're on the other side of the basements.
I mean, surely when you see the reinforcement on the garage, you know where the bomb is going to be. Wall of China's done enough intel hunting as well, and now about 70 seconds left on the clock. And Akira still yet to use that thermite charge.
Yeah.
He triggers it, right? There's no timer.
No, there's no timer.
No.
Yeah, so it looks like he's just waiting for his team to get in position. You see right there, Blood and Glory on Smoke. He's kind of hiding in a corner there, and the rest of them, they don't see him.
Akira is going to be hitting the deck, though. He's made the dent, and he's got another vulnerability exposed for the defenders. Time becoming an issue, though. The attackers, they need to get on towards the site soon. Checking his corners. This is nice. Rolling around the floor. Wall of China finds one. It's actually a headshot into Jehu. Now looking to push in, advance on those numbers, but time still becoming a factor. They need to either eliminate the remaining 4 or get that bomb down. Now, Rogue Warchief is on the war path. He's going to have a perfect eye line in towards the other side. This is nice. He can almost cover 2 sites with just the one. And oh, Akira swings around and catches him through that tiny hole.
Yeah, and he just actually saved his friend from getting taken down too, so it's a really nice play by Akira there.
Ooh, Compact Killer, though, trying to make an impact. We saw what he did before in a 1 versus 2. Now, though, it does look like the bomb is going to be going down from the attacking side. Compact Killer is going to chill it out, wait for his teammate to push on in as the bomb does go in. Did the bomb go down?
No, he's putting the diffuser down now. The 3-on-1.
2 seconds, they're making a whole lot of noise.
This is overtime now, so they need to get back in there and they need to defuse it.
You say it's just one. It's Compact Killer.
One,
oh my god, he has got the 1 frag, but he's up against Wall of China, and very appropriately named. That's 2. Surely not a 3rd. He has the wall up, and of course, Wall of China is. Oh, if he comes from behind Compact Killer, he needs to catch him now. He's playing up against the shield. It's just the hip fire pistol is all he has to work with, and he can't find it. Wall of China works so damn hard, brings it home for his team. 3 frags, and staying true to his name with that shield.
That shield is really, I mean, if he didn't have that shield, I think he was done for. I honestly think he was done for. Compact Killer took down 3 guys that round. No problem. That shield was the winning factor here.
I mean, if you want to do like a little checklist of what Wall of China achieved in that, he got intel. He destroyed the jammers. He also managed to pick up 3 frags himself.
Yep.
And this is all with a class that you guys are still in debate with about, how much you can use with that pistol. Some just get, and he's got that mobility limited as well. Making that class work for him. And, when you look at the developers, I'm pretty sure they've played enough of the game to know which class that works best for them.
Yeah.
He's definitely found it.
Yeah, he's found his niche dude right now, and he seems to know what he's doing.
You can change your operator in between rounds.
That's right.
So that's probably what we're going to be seeing, a response then from the attackers.
Yeah, if something's not exactly working for them, if they're not feeling too comfortable with a certain operator, they will switch it up. We haven't talked about it yet, but now they have Rook on the defense team, which drops the extra armor. I don't know if they were in the last rounds or not, but that is extremely important. However, they just switched it out now for some reason. I don't entirely agree with that. That extra armor, that is huge. It's a big difference. I mean, you go down within a couple bullets, that armor helps. It definitely helps.
It's one of those ones that can be almost difficult for people to see the impact of Rook so easily. I mean, if you're Mr. Sledge and you're bashing through walls with your sledgehammer, it's obvious what you're doing, what you're bringing to the team.
Yeah.
It can sometimes be a little bit more subtle with Rook because it is just extra armor. You die a little slower. I say a little, of course. I haven't got the complete metrics behind it, but either way, we are back on into the action.
Yeah. We're having a quick issue here with the caster cam, so we will be following through the drone of the captain on the other team, Najib. So we'll just get the caster cam back up and running in a second. In the meantime, though, we are still in game. We're going to be stuck in the captain's view, which is the drone, and that's the ending right now.
So, kicking off the action, we are going to be looking to see how far this one plays out. We are in eyes with with Montagne.
Yes.
So this is the new addition. This is what they've just kind of changed things up a little bit. The veterans have made a choice to remove one and opt to pick up Mountain instead.
Yeah. So this has the expandable shield. He's a lot safer once he deploys it, and everybody that stays behind him too will be a lot safer. He is actually one of my favorites too. I mean, the whole idea of bringing the shield down now to shoot is not as big as a deal as people think. He's still very, very powerful.
What?
I'm not sure what happened.
Okay, we're not sure what just happened. Wall of China has killed him. Okay, so what was a remote gas grenade?
Yeah, so I think they put a nitro cell there, and then they blew it up.
He's so confused. Yeah. There is the replay.
And then Smoke put down his lethal gas and just took him out.
Well, a play that's even confused the developers. That's how you know you've done something right. Score is 2-1. Of course, it is best of 7. Intrigued to see where they go from this. Where do you build when you immediately lose someone? This is something I feel like we're going to see more of, is where a defender, they push early aggressive, they take a quick hit out to the attackers, and then retract.
Yeah, I mean, this is... We've talked about it before. It's more of a mental game than anything. You're a man down now. How do you adapt? How do you react? How do you change your tactics? Usually when you go into this kind of thing, you have a set rule that you want to do, a set position. Now that position is open and it leaves somebody vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, you know, fortunately they have players like Compact Killer who can go ahead and do a 1v2. Like last time they were at a disadvantage, but it is scouting time and that's information gathered. It may not seem it, but seeing those spikes through the wall, they immediately know that there's something the defenders want to hide.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to avoid those stairs now, or at least let the shield go up first to take care of that little hole that has a direct view. You see right there, looking right down the stairs. Those are not blocked. I mean, unless you come up with the shield, there's absolutely no reason to come up those stairs.
So currently we are in eyes of Compact Killer, who's just checking himself in the bathroom, making sure he looks good for his appearance here. Of course, we are live from Montreal. They've made the trip over here, and they're looking to make that trip worthwhile, as it does look like he's actually going to be heading on down as well. Still, have they actually located the explosives?
I think they've
got a good idea.
I think they managed to find it, yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so...
It's really interesting to see everybody slow it down now. As I mentioned earlier, I'm playing the test build that's out right now before the beta, and people are playing generally a little bit slower, and it's really nice to see. It's a big change from what we saw at Gamescom, and the pacing is much different now.
Oh, J Cash down as well as Game Over trying to equalize. He does do to some extent. 3 versus 4 then, as that early disadvantage has been extended by the devs. Now you can see barbed wire, and that of course is an indicator about where that bomb is going to be hiding there. Is there a way to just completely eliminate the barbed wire, or are you just going to have to make the noise slow down?
You need to melee it. You can get up to it and melee it. It takes 3 hits, and then it'll go down, and you can walk through it no problem. But getting up to it to melee it is tough in itself.
Yeah. You almost want to get that shield up front. You can already kind of see how you want to establish it. You're going to be seeing a drone thrown out, which is going to enable them to get some sort of information
really
gathered.
Smart.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, really smart here.
40 seconds though, and they are going to have to push over that barbed wire. I don't think they've got time to melee it. It looks like they are going to finally go for it, but they're making noise as well. Oh, man down. It's going to be Compact Killer then, who's sitting them down but not out. Trying to equalize though is Sek as he sprays wildly through the smoke. Robot Garden gets him. Now, we're going to be seeing ourselves in a 3 versus 2. Numbers favor the defenders or the developers, and it's going to get extended. Now a 3 versus 1. This is looking real good for the dev team.
Let's hop over into the attacking point of view here.
10 seconds left, and we are on
10 seconds left.
Eyes with blood and glory. He knows he's in trouble. He knows he's really not looking too likely. 5 seconds time just not really in his favor. Gets a fantastic connection, but time surely is not going to be favoring him, and he is going to be struggling to pick up the round. Doesn't go down though, just a little kind of slight celebration for him, but no, another round on the board for the devs.
They had the right idea though, the attacking team. I mean, you said it yourself, smart. They're throwing their drone there, they're scouting, but they were still in the line of fire from the wall that was directly behind. Yeah. You saw Najib Sek make a hole through the wall and take him down. Right idea, wrong execution.
So, look at that score now, Chris. Where are we at? 3-1.
Yep. Go devs. I mean,
this could be a 4-1.
Right?
This could be a 4-1 stomp. That's what this could be. Of course, we are going to be playing different game modes. This is the one that they've played the least, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
And I think something that we need to talk about just while they are loading on in is going to be map knowledge. Because how much of a necessity is map knowledge in coming to Rainbow Six? I feel like it must be kind of like 40% of the game.
This is my field. I absolutely love talking about the maps, but for me, the map knowledge is hugely important when you're talking about destructible walls, making the little holes that we've been seeing for the line of sights, the replay value there, not knowing where somebody is going to make that hole, where it is, how big it's going to be, how small it's going to be, I think is a big, big deal. Map knowledge is as important as the operator knowledge and as general mechanics, general shooting mechanics.
Target located.
So on the side of the defenders, we are
10 seconds to go.
seeing a couple of extra things set up. That looks like, is that the extra armor? Did I
yeah,
just
that's Rook right
okay,
there.
so that's Rook. That's Rook doing his thing, and it's just something you are hoping to see a whole lot more of as defenses are going to be set up.
Blue 4 is moving to defuse the bomb.
And we are going to be kicking ourselves off. This could very well be very embarrassing for the veterans, not forgetting that they, of course, triumphed over everyone over at Gamescom, picking up a 2-0 win over the German side.
And I mean, we have to bring it up just because it's worth bringing up, but we have most of the vets here playing on controller, and most of actually all the devs playing on PC. We had a couple of practice runs earlier, and it didn't go in favor of the devs, but it's interesting now, and it's good to see that the PC controllers are having a little bit of coming back.
I mean, there's definitely a reason why you don't play this cross-platform, and now, hello, looking towards Sec on Twitch. They're all on the rooftop. This looks like it could pay off, actually, considering where that bomb is placed. So they're all going to be hitting that one layer, that middle floor.
They did this a couple of rounds before, too. And here's Pulse, by the way. If he sees an enemy, you'll see a little ping on the screen right now. There's nobody close enough. But it seems the attacking team is doing what they did earlier, where they're all on the roof, and now they're taking their time to get inside the building.
And already a man down. Again, this seems like a kind of all too familiar story for the veterans, where they're just sitting there and always being forced to kind of have an uphill struggle, losing that early man. Akira's the man with the bomb. I feel like he's far too vulnerable for someone that's the bomb carrier.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer to see the bomb on somebody or the diffuser on somebody who has a shield. He seems to be comfortable with it. He's right. I mean, you can see where he is right now. It's just about timing at this point. I think they're going to collapse at the same time here.
Now, this excites me because he's basically positioned his thermite charge against that, coming up from above it as well.
Yeah.
So he's going to have most definitely the element of surprise. No one's going to be in that room, though, to receive him, so that's why he's going to be holding fire.
You have a bit of crossfire here from Game Over. I don't know if he punched a hole through that wall yet. He should have a line to the objective, but if he gets in that room and he holds it, there is no first line of defense at all.
Deploying heartbeat sensor.
This is Pulse. He's desperately trying to get some sort of information. They're feeling a little bit in the dark, quite literally, as you can see him in that shadowy corner. But, I think he caught a glimpse. He knows there's going to be one pushing in, and that should be a guaranteed frag. Does catch a hit to the shield, but it's going to be all of China then down. Robot Garden quick to trade it out, though, so we do find ourselves back in a 4v3, and again, the defenders at a disadvantage.
Yeah, this is looking really nice for the attacking team here. They're inside the objective room. They're starting to pick guys away here. They have the area secured. They just need to get the diffuser down here. I don't know why they're not dropping it and making the defenders press them back.
Right, they could most definitely make their job easier, but it looks like they're just happy to go duck hunting, though, as it's all gone to one. Bomb goes in as well.
Diffuser is down, so, I mean, you got a 1-on-4 situation here. They know where he is. I don't know what he's going to do here.
There's very little he can do, as we want to jump on in the eyes of Game Over with this rather fabulous-looking MP5. Just desperately trying to find some sort of leeway. He does get one, looking for a second as well, but, I mean, surely, how much time do you have once that bomb goes down?
Yeah, the timer's pretty quick. It's very nice. Yeah, the timer's, I believe it's about 45 seconds. Do not take my word on that, but you have to hurry up.
Developers have picked up game one. I can see a sigh of relief on his face. In fact, there's everyone that I can see behind the cameras. There's a lot of Rainbow Six developers kind of...
Last time it was shambles. It was terrible. So this is good to see.
It's one small step for the development team. But, I mean, an astounding victory as well. 4-1 going to be the scoreline at the end of that one.
Yeah.
Some points that we can draw away from that then is it seems that not only communication won't get you all the way, because I mean the devs that said themselves, we were talking to them, and they basically said, I mean, we know the game, but these guys have played together for however long, and that's becoming a problem.
They had a ton of practice last night. I think here it's about panic. They had one defender go down or one attacker go down almost every round right away. A 4-on-5 situation in this game is not easy to handle.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said that before, and then we've seen the counter. You know, something else happened, but they were down a man at the very beginning of the rounds each time. I think that threw them off. I really do. I think that threw them off.
And I mean, we saw, of course, a couple of influential operators as well. I felt like Akira on Thermite was keeping them guessing quite a lot. I mean, not necessarily fragging, but just by having the kind of question mark about where they will and where they cannot push was nice to see as well from him over on the dev team. For now, though, I think it's time for us to take another look at some new tips. If you are new to the game, we've got a whole series that will help you get to grips with Rainbow Six. We'll be back with more.
Knowing the position of your enemy or denying them access to yours should be one of your team's top priorities. At the start of the preparation phase, the attacker spawn is a drone. Your main priorities are to scout traps, enemy positions, and the objective location. As the prep phase comes to an end, it is ideal to try to put your drone in a spot that is hidden. This will ensure it stays alive. As long as your drone is alive, you can use it to help your team by tagging enemies. Tagged enemies have their names shown through walls for duration. When playing as a defender, you have access to a number of security cameras. Use these cameras early in the round to identify where the enemies are coming from and communicate that information to your team. You have a compass at the bottom right-hand side of your screen that is useful to identify where the attackers have spawned and from where they are likely to breach. Also, each room has a name that is located under the compass to help players learn the map and better expose enemy locations. And remember, when not gathering intel, you should always try to take out the other team's observation devices.
All right, well, now I am joined by parts of each team. First off, congrats, Team Dev Team.
Thank you.
Well played, finally regaining a little bit of honor for our team.
It's a huge relief.
And still good showing from you guys. So, like, first off, how do you guys feel about doing this little rematch, this little throwback? First off, feel free to share your thoughts.
Incredibly tense. My hands are still shaking. There's sort of a lot on the line for the dev team, and there still is. But they're bringing it hard, and I'm worried going into the next match. So,
how do you guys feel about the rematch?
I mean, I feel like this highlights exactly what you need to know about the game. You know, knowledge is everything with games like this, and clearly the devs have some superior knowledge over us. But the next couple maps, I think, will give them a better run.
Yeah, because you did get to play those other maps, such as in the closed alpha and at Gamescom, you got to play a lot of Hereford base.
Yeah, I mean, our next two maps we're a lot more comfortable there, and it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So we'll see what we can do in the next two maps.
Aha, I see. And you were there at Road to Montreal. You were literally part of the team that beat the dev team it was actually 8-0 because it was 2 matches, right?
Yeah, well, when we played them, it was one match, so it was 4-0. So I just knew like they were gonna be practicing, like trying not to at least win a round. They ended up winning a match.
And how did you prepare for the Road to Montreal show match? And what did you see changing between then and now in terms of gameplay?
Practicing for this is half our team hasn't played like all the maps we're playing today, so we were just like practicing, just trying to learn the layouts, which way you can breach, floor, ceilings.
Yeah, because like we saw in the video, it's all about information and communication. The video we just showed, so.
Yeah, like even like doing like reconnaissance and like knowing where the cameras are and like using the drones to your advantage, and making sure like you have good call-outs, because if you spot them, it says like you were spotted for the attackers, and it was shoot the camera or try looking for the drone.
So that's one of the differences between when you played in Road to Montreal and now, right? Because in Road to Montreal, the tagging system was not like it is right now. There's other changes. Did you notice any other changes?
Yeah, it's a lot of subtle changes, mostly like balancing things and like different breach spots on maps. Provides a better balanced gameplay. I've been very, very impressed so far.
And thank you. Do you guys have any tips for newcomers? We just saw one about information. Anything else you'd like to relate to our people that are going to start playing in the closed beta real soon?
I mean, following up on what Com said, recon is totally important. You know, you got to get your team coordinated. Communication and chemistry is huge in this game. It's basically the only thing we have going for us right now, so we're hoping to bring some of that out in the next round. But chemistry, communication, recon, and just trying to use all the equipment that you have to the best of your ability, I think are big keys to this game.
Yeah, I saw you guys practicing a lot yesterday. I saw the chemistry, you guys learning everything. I got out of the office, I think it was like 8 or 8:30. You guys were still there playing all afternoon, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little comeback, little challenge here.
Oh, yeah.
Any tips from you?
Yeah, well, like they said, communication is a big thing. I'd go with destruction. Destruction is a huge part of the game. There's a lot of depth that we can add in the maps. There's a lot of spots that, like you saw in the game, like a few minutes early. We do like wall breach. We do like some holes. You can play with that, and like you can play literally with the minds of the opponent with that. Like I do a hole, I go to the next one and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can open up a line of sight and straight up not be there.
Exactly.
Just distract the opponent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole deepness of strategies that opens up with the destruction. So I'd say get familiar with that as soon as possible and use it.
And how do you guys come up with your strategies? Because I know for Gamescom you guys prepped so much. For 1 week you were studying the game. You told me you were watching all of our live stream, reading all of our content. But how can you prepare? Like, how would you advise people to
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. The game is so deep and layered, you know. There's so many different subtleties that you can really get into when you get down to the nitty-gritty. But, I mean, we had a good, 24 hours when we got before here, and then we got like 2 or 3 hours in last night, so we just tried to learn as much as we could about the maps. You know, the map they just took from us is a little bit larger. There's a lot more to learn on it, so I think that played into it a little bit. So,
all right, so we'll see how that goes into match number 2. Right now we're going to get it off to another tip to learn how to play our game so that you get ready for closed beta. So let's kick it off to that, and then match number 2 comes up.
In Siege, destruction opens up many opportunities to create new navigation paths and line of sights. Understanding the map layout is just half the battle. You need to learn how to use destruction efficiently in each of them. Some walls and floors are partially destructible and will only allow for lines of sight. These offer you a new vantage point and allow you to throw flashbangs, grenades, and other gadgets. On the other hand, some walls and floors will be completely destructible, allowing you to navigate through. Learn where the floor traps are and which surfaces are fully destructible in each map. In-house, taking down a wall in the bathroom gives you visibility control on the main lobby area in the second floor hallway. Also, the kitchen's backdrop can be destroyed, giving visibility on either the back stairs or the kitchen while staying hidden. In Hereford, you have full visibility on the armory, the projector room, and the stairs by punching holes in these walls. Lastly, in Consulate, you have access to one of the objective rooms in the basement if you breach the trapdoor inside the reception desk on the main floor. These are just a few examples. Navigate the map, play with destruction, and use it to your advantage.
Hello and welcome back then to the Rainbow Six stream. We're live from Montreal in the studio and we are witnessing the developers go head-to-head with the veterans. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, joined by Chris Hendry, the, let me get this right, senior level artist over at Ubisoft, who's seen this game since its inception. You've been kind of guiding and experiencing the ups and downs of this game right before beta launch now. I mean, how much has this game developed, and are you ready to see this breached by the community?
Yeah, it's about time. It's been a long time coming. I played in the VMC Alpha. I played in the technical test. It's out now. The beta is coming out tomorrow. I'm so happy to see all this out there. You're saying how much did it change? Rainbow Six has always been multiplayer first, and the core that we had really has not changed too much. I mean, every game you have tweaks here and there, but our base, what we wanted to do, we still have that, and it's still there, and it works really well, and we're just expanding on it now.
Awesome. I mean, you said there yourself, Rainbow Six is always multiplayer first. One of the things that this Rainbow Six iteration is bringing is the caster cam feature, which is, of course, not available at the start of beta, but it's something that's being worked on. If you want to get a preview of that, you'd have to look no further than our Gamescom videos, where we kind of touched on that a lot more, whereby we basically demonstrated the capabilities of the caster camera, and that's, of course,
we have an in-depth video on YouTube that goes over it as well, so you can check that out. There's a lot of stuff out there now from Gamescom.
Yeah, and that's what we're using, of course, to observe the game in hand. The second game is going to be kicking off very shortly, and it's going to be mixing it up a little bit back to secure area, but we're going into a new map and a new time of day as well, with this day and night variation. I think we should touch on that for a second.
Yeah, so I mean, all of our maps have this day and night cycle, not cycle, sorry, times.
Oh, this is
so
cool.
I mean, it does change a little bit how you play. It is harder to see outside where the attackers are spawning from, so that is a big deal. Regardless, you should be taking cover up until the objective room or the house in general, so hiding, but it is nice. It makes for a different mood, it makes for a different setting, and I think players will really enjoy it.
Now, going into House as well, we did just see what Consulate had to offer. Going into House, though, any kind of immediate thoughts about House as it stands out as a map? We saw that you kind of regarded Consulate as a wide map, something that you expect a little less verticality. Still 3 floors in this one, though.
Yeah. So the video that was just before, I talked about the line of sight. House has a lot more of this and a lot more of it that is more relevant, I guess you would say. If you have an objective inside the master bedroom, the whole floor is destructible. Line of sight, you can shoot their feet out, you can shoot below and shoot their heads. So keep an eye on the floors here. I want to see if they use them how they should be used.
All right, I think it's just about game time. Let's get a quick roster rundown for what's coming into the battlefield into our second game. Will the devs pick it up to 0? Or will we see the equalizer coming out from the veterans? Twitch, Thermite, Blitz, Sledge, and Fuse for the blue team. And for our veterans, Bandit, Mute, Smoke, Pulse, and Rook. Anyone you want to highlight there for me, Chris?
I want to see if they use Blitz properly. I mean, you don't see it too often, but that flash on the front of the shield is so powerful. It's going to be cool to see him rush in, start flashing everybody, his team following behind, and clear a room out.
We've yet to see that kind of full-on team rush. It's always been kind of someone gets an opening pick and then time ticks away and then there's some sort of altercation, but that's yet to see the full kind of one-man army
which is surprising too, because a lot of these games that we're watching, the defenders are spread out a little bit.
Look at that. That's really good info there, gathered by Sec on his drone. He's seen what's been locked up, he's seen what's been set up, and he's also been able to keep his drone alive, which we'll be able to access later on into the action. 8 seconds then before we do go into the main phase, and look at Robot Garden desperately trying to keep his little Pringles tube alive. He's rolling around, he is going to be going down, and it's time for us to kick off the action. As we say that...
Okay, we're having a quick issue again with the camera.
We're back.
We're going to stick into the first person of the captain again on the defending team here. So give us a moment, we'll get the camera back up and running.
All right, so where does he go from here? He's rocking the Bandit class, and he's going to be picking up the armor, something we've constantly been seeing actually coming out from Montagna. Is that, no, excuse me, Rook.
That is from Rook, yeah.
Yeah, so Rook's the one that provides all this extra armor. You can see that indicates that green vest, suggesting that he's got...
Exactly, yeah, and his job is to make sure that all of his teammates pick that up. If he has a mic, he needs to tell it. If you're playing the beta tomorrow and you pick up Rook, make sure when you drop that armor, you tell your teammates to pick it up. It makes a difference.
Would it be advisable just to drop that at spawn, or do you want to get to a position before you drop it?
Drop it right away in the spawn. People are going to look at it
Everyone
and be
get
like,
on it.
what is that? You come up close to it, if there's a prompt, so do it right away when you spawn, and make sure to tell your teammates to grab it.
Right, so rocking the MP7 then, as they're going to be setting themselves up for this defense. Now, you can see how kind of immobile they are at this point, because they've got all their angles covered. This is what you want to be kind of dreaming of with a 5-man setup.
Yeah, they got a good setup here. They got some crossfire. Blood and Gory is looking towards the current camera, so if he comes down the stairs, he will be picked off. You can see to the top right-hand side of the camera, there's some prongs sticking through the ceiling. Those are the trap doors, and that is where Thermite comes in useful.
First blood's drawn then. Elsewhere on the map, we are going to be seeing Sec go down. That's actually probably one of the first times we've seen the veterans get that first opening frag, so a big step in the right direction for them. Now, when we were just in eyes with Bandit, we saw he had like a kind of fancy crosshair. There is a whole lot of customizability available with this as well.
Yeah. So with our Renowned, you can buy weapon customizations. We have, I believe, about 4 or 5 sites at the moment, which can be put onto any of the guns that we have. We have gun skins. I mean, take a look at the weapons. Take a look at the customizations. It is there.
What did we miss? Bodies have started to drop, and Rogue Warchief actually taking Wall of China down. Of course, a player who was mad influential in our previous rounds. Now, 3 players left on the attacking side. It's actually the dev team who's been kind of hamstrung somewhat. Compact Killer is going to be doing so much damage. Jay does as well. One left. It's going to be Robot guarding. He's not going down without a fight, though, as he does pick up a frag with his AK-12. Now, 3 to find, and it looks like he's going to be taking his time with this one.
And this is Fuse right now, and you can see the bottom left of the watching screen there. He has 0 of 2 cluster charge left. He has no more gadgets. Right now, he's just got his gun. He's going to have to work with it.
So all eyes on Robot Guard. And of course, developer for the game should have a good read on where he should be taking this round. He's got so much time to work with as well, and this is something that it's almost a dream when you're in a scenario like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be really hard. I like what he's doing here, though. He changed his positioning. He's coming around a different way. He might be able to catch somebody off guard, but again, without that gadget, without anything unique, he's going to struggle here.
This could be good if he just casts his eyes to catch. He caught a glimpse. It's going to be a spray and not going to quite connect enough, though. There's a little bit too much of an obstruction. He didn't manage to do any damage, but his whereabouts are now known, and that kind of slight foot he did have in the round has been kind of taken away from him.
What I'm surprised about here is that he knows where the defender is. You can see him there through the wall, but he's not shooting through the garage door.
Is it not reinforced?
No, it's not reinforced on his left-hand side here. He should be spraying at that garage door to try to even get a couple shots off, but he's not doing it. He's backing off here.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
It's not looking like it. And on the attacker as well, he's got even less flexibility because he has to try and get that bomb down. He can no longer just hold an angle and wait for the attackers to get the bomb.
That's it, yeah. There's some time to put down the diffuser. He's got about 15 left here. I don't see this happening.
15 seconds left.
He's still definitely taking his time. I think there's a little bit of an interesting miscommunication going on here, unless he's expecting to somehow have 3 people all just sitting in a line. Finally, Rogue Warchief does bring that round home. And so, first one on the board for the veterans going into our second map. That's going to be a rather triumphant round, considering how few members they lost. It was 3 players still standing at the end of that one.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I feel like we're already going to start seeing stats where it's whoever gets the first kill wins the round. Like, it felt like that's something that we've seen a whole lot more of, and it's going to come down to, like, those opening 30, 40 seconds when there's 5 versus 5. You need to be so careful. Like, I feel like there's an idea that could reward a risky play because you push up and get the early frag and suddenly your team's in a massive advantage.
Yeah, but and
then the risk.
And then the risk, exactly. I mean, if you're the first guy to go down on your team, your teammates are not looking at you in the best light. Yeah. So there is a trade-off here. Do you want to risk going out, getting a quick kill, or die? And I mean, yeah, it's a tough decision.
It is a tough one, and I feel like I know when I get my hands on it, which is of course whenever I get back to my computer, I'm gonna go run and gun straight away. I'm gonna attempt that because that's just like the Call of Duty 4 in me coming back, and I'm gonna try and take it down that way.
I think you're gonna struggle.
I feel like I might struggle, but I will start with that dream, and then I'll realize where I need to be taking it.
Do me a favor, and when you start doing that, stream for me so I can watch you run and gun and see how it turns out.
I will stream it just to demonstrate why run and gun doesn't necessarily work. Still though, back into our second round of our second map here, live from Montreal. We are on house. It is nighttime, and we have the developers setting themselves up for another hold.
Yeah, so again, if you're just joining in here, this is the drone and the preparation phase. The drone is going to find the objective, or at least try to. Once the objective is located, you get a little marker on the screen for all the attackers. They can see the objective. And the defenders here have to reinforce around the objective and kill the drones as they come in. It's not mandatory, but you want to deny that visibility.
I mean, I can see how powerful drones have been. Like, look at this one already. There's one, it's game over, who's driving it, and he's right under the boat on the objective. That is a brutal drone placement.
And there you see, it just lit up. He came back to it. He wanted more intel. He's going to drive around and see what else he can see right now.
So, I mean, knowing where the bomb is, first of all, but also being able to park it somewhere safe would be insane, as it would enable him to go and gather extra information during the round.
Also, the drone does jump, so if you are able to get up to the high ground, try to get there, do a little bit of parkour with the drone. You said it earlier. Yeah, hide it on a high spot.
What's going on here? Very early breach, but Smoke's immediately going to throw it. It's lethal, so you can see that scary kind of mustard yellow gas. That's going to make it very difficult for them to push in. That locks them out almost entirely. It's almost like an artificial wall at this point.
It really denies them access, and I mean, it has a pretty long duration. You saw right there. It's still going, and now the attackers, look, they're leaving. They don't even want to deal with it. He probably threw another one now, and they got no option.
Akira on the dev team definitely seems to have a good understanding of where he needs to be taking his equipment. On the attacking side, he was rocking Thermite, and now we're seeing what he can do with Smoke. Different operators for different attack and defense. I feel like that's something we actually have neglected to mention, is that you don't get the same operators on either side.
No, that's it. That's actually a very good point. The gameplay is asymmetrical, so you have specific operators for the defending team and specific for the attacking team.
Now, Game Over looking to take a leaf out of all of China's book. As he's the one this time rocking Fuse. Does have that shield to his name. Compact Killer lingering at the back line. He's the one with Thermite. He's the one that does have access to those exothermic charges. And still, though, this is a very different approach we've seen from the attacking side.
I really like what the defenders are doing, though, here. I mean, they're taking out the garage door, but the smoke is denying them.
Whoa, that's going to be a tough one for Rogue Warchief. That's a mouthful, but he does go down.
There's a Nitrocell, too, and I think it was thrown. It wasn't placed beforehand. I think he just threw it there. I believe that was smoke, I think. I'm not too sure, but he threw the Nitrocell there, and he is handling the garage right now.
So let's see if my prediction is going to pay off. They got the first frag. Will Dev Team pick up the round off the back of that? Actually, Robot Garden's been brought pretty damn low. He's down over half health. And the only way he'd kind of regain health is there a regen mechanic, or is it just down to dot?
No, that's it. You have one life, you take damage, that is your damage. Once you're dead, you are dead and out.
And it looks like the devs are going to be extending their lead then. Compact Killer is no more, and we just have to see 3 players then try and build into this round. Jehu Cash trying to make something happen.
He just missed that
the
right
orb.
there. There's a guy in the room right beside him, and he didn't see him. They were standing literally right beside each other, and they didn't even see each other.
No, this is going to be getting very, very tough. IQ, one of the newest additions to the beta. And seeing what he can do with that one. In the meantime, Sek just spraying bullets wildly into the roof, trying to keep him guessing.
Yeah, so he's not shooting up there just for the hell of it. He is trying to shoot their feet. The surface above, he can't shoot through.
That's 2. Blood and Glory and Jehu Cash trying to make this interesting. It's 2 versus 3 now. This could be an insane comeback. It's 2 versus 5, need I remind you. And they still have time, Chris.
Yeah, they got 50 seconds here. That doesn't seem like a lot, but it is still a lot of time here to make something work.
I think those 2 frags from both Jehu and his comrade are going to be putting a little bit more of extra hope for them. They're considering pushing in. He's actually going to... Oh, I thought he'd evaded the barbed wire, but no. He made the noise, and they're looking straight at him. That's a big frag, though. 2v2 now. Tempest is no more again. It's a 2 versus 2, and with 30 seconds left, that bomb most definitely could go down.
Yeah, they're going to have to make their way over here to the garage. You still got Akira here as Smoke sitting there and waiting.
1 Blue 4 operator remaining.
Oh, it's all onto Blood and Glory. He's done as well. Second Akira managed to clutch it and bring it back together. But already a demonstration that clutches are not out of the question. 2 versus 5 down to 2v2.
It's really cool to see the game fluctuate like that. Like, it starts off as like
I feel like it was black and white. Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, did you notice the first person who went down? Was it the team that won or lost?
Yes, the devs won. So
there you
I'm
go.
just saying, guys,
make predictions, right?
I've got it down already. Like, do not die. Whatever you do when you're playing tomorrow, when you're on that beta build, whatever you do, be very careful with that first blood.
Or you're potentially the reason your team lost.
Or go crazy, get the first frag, and you're the reason your team won.
Exactly, yeah.
This is where we're split. I'm going to be the guy that's just charging, like closing my eyes and firing my pistols and hoping for the best. But we'll see where this one unfolds. That's the equalizer, though. And if you did just join us or you have missed the first game we did play, we saw the dev team pick it up in true fashion, kind of astounding fashion. 4-1 was the score there. But we're going to be seeing if the equalizer can come in now from the veterans.
This is another basement play here. I think this is one of the favored objectives inside house. I mean, you don't have to worry about verticality at all. They're secure in the basements, and really they can just isolate themselves completely. There's so much room to work with that they can close off each room, stay in it if they want, and I mean, it's a really good objective room here. It'd be nice to see them play with something else just for the sake of it, but they're trying to win here, and I understand the decision.
Yeah, I mean, so if this has been kind of tried and tested, the most effective way to hold the bomb. I mean, you can't be hit from 2 directions as you could perhaps from the middle floor, but see where they choose to take this.
They know where the camera is too. I mean, this is the devs, so they should be taking out the camera that's right around here. I didn't see anything take it out though. So right now, if the defenders are on the security cameras, they have complete visibility of the attacking team, and they know where they've spawned from.
So they can make the call. So it's like the trade-off. The developers do have access to the drones. So the attackers, they get their intel that way, and the defenders, they use those cameras that they have access to at the start of the round.
Yeah, it's a priority. If you're starting the beta tomorrow, keep an eye on the cameras in the map, find out where they are, and kill them right away. Otherwise, you will be tagged, you will be seen, and you will be exposed.
Some would say you'd get tagged and then body bagged is the payout from that.
Not bad,
But now, I'm going to be making these holes. These are something that I'm starting to get really excited about. The fact that you can just make a little peeky hole, but also keep them guessing with maybe some fake ones as well.
Yeah, we saw a little bit earlier too. one of the defenders actually made a hole to look outside, and the attacker saw that hole, figured there was somebody behind it, sprayed it, and actually took somebody down too. So there is another trade-off there. Do you make a hole, or do you keep it, you keep quiet?
I think something people are going to be very quickly aware of is that walls don't necessarily mean you're safe in any way, shape, or form here for Rainbow Six. That's a camera that is going to be neutralized courtesy of Akira. And it does look like they're starting to prepare themselves for a hit down into the basement. You can see him setting up his exothermic charge there. That's the magic of thermite. He's going to be looking to break through the reinforcement.
Yeah, and he's doing something smart here too. He's just going to walk around, go somewhere else, keep the charge there, and use it a little bit later. This will force the defenders to look at it.
So could he technically breach 2 places at once?
Yes, he can. If he chooses his secondary gadget as another breach charge, you can breach both breaches at the same time.
And that, my friends, is the power of thermite. Now, though, let's see if I'm right. Again, the defenders this time are going to take the early frag. Tempest extends it with another frag. That's Jehu J Cash down using his L8-5A2. Rolls right off the tongue with that weapon.
I wouldn't even attempt that.
I think I'm going to call it an L8 from now on. But I mean, he's rocking the sledge class, and I feel like we haven't given him too much attention for the attackers.
Yeah, so a good example of Sledge right now, he could go around this room and start tearing up the floor a little bit to see the down below. You cannot drop through, only through the trapdoors can you drop through, but still, making those holes and trying to peek through them and find somebody to shoot is worthwhile, and he's not doing it right now.
Oh, look at that though, that's big damage done by Sek, just because it does, of course, open up more vulnerabilities, less places for the defenders to hide. And there's just 3 of them now, the veterans. Have 1 minute 20 to keep that. Oh, wow. Sek gets a headshot. Rogue Warchief down, and now game over. And Compact Killer left to their own devices. 5 players hunting them down. In a similar scenario, they managed to bring it down to a 2v2. See if they can do the same thing again. Game over starts as he means to go on. That's now Sek forced to watch, but...
Ooh, this is nice.
Surely he can't get much more.
Ooh. He just missed him there with that nade.
Game over gets a second. Tempest now down. Still 2v3. 1 more to get to the same place. Compact Killer gets it. Now it's a 1v2. Can he find the last 2 frags? This would be a 1 versus 3 for the PC player on Veterans. He's going to come into contact with one. Gets the pistol frag. Wall of China now down. This is looking incredible. This could be the 1 versus 3 up against the Veterans. But Akira says no, not going to let it happen. And every time we get so close, Chris, I get so hyped. I can feel like the adrenaline pumping through me. And the last hurdle is a little too difficult. Yet again.
That is cool. We saw it once again.
Oh, my vocal cords.
He was prone on the ground. You don't expect to see somebody on the ground prone there like that. Akira caught him completely off guard. Again, though, Compact Killer, man, really something else here.
He is a fragging machine. I mean, every time I see him left, I'm never ruling out the chance of a comeback. But so far, so good for the devs. Yeah. They got the first frag, and again, they pick up the round. I'm telling you guys, this is a legitimate theory, is don't you go dying first.
What are you now? You're, what, 3 for 3, 4 for 4?
3 for 3, I think, yeah, into this one. We'll see. We'll see if we can see any changes. And talking, I mean, of changes for the operators as well, I wouldn't mind seeing if there's any changes going on into this one, because we saw, what was it before? We saw a sledge come out, we saw a thermite, I'm trying to think what else we saw, maybe even a smoke, but I think I'm starting to see IQ return, make a resurgence, and I'm still struggling to see why you'd ever pick IQ unless you're going up against a pulse. A pulse.
Essentially, for me at least, would be the nitrocells. The nitrocells are the biggest lethal threat when it comes to, I guess, an electronic device.
So what is a nitrocell?
A nitrocell is a remote detonated, explosion.
Like a wall charge kind of thing?
No, you throw it. It's like a satchel charge almost. So you throw it, you remote detonate it. It is lethal, blows up walls, it kills you, has a very big radius. Typically, people hide those over the door frames.
Oh, so as you run through.
Exactly, and you wait, and I mean, so Pulse will be able to see that through the door frame, and because our walls are destructible, can shoot through the wall.
IQ, you mean? Yeah.
IQ, shoot through the wall to kill that trap. So, yeah, we haven't seen too much of it. It'd be nice to go into IQ's view a little bit this round, see how she uses it out, see if she actually does manage to kill some traps and put it to the full potential.
Actually, it looks like they actually gave up on the IQ Dream. Oh no, I can still see it there. It's going to be Jehu J Cash who's rocking it then, picking up the AUG. And I think something that people sometimes don't necessarily realize is that there are other options. When you're not necessarily just choosing an operator, you're choosing your weapon, your secondary, your gadgets. All of that is changeable, right?
Yeah, the only thing that you cannot change is your primary gadget, the unique gadget per operator. Everything else you can switch out, customize, change how you want, and have some fun with it.
Have some fun with it. Even put on a cool skin if you fancy it.
Yeah, we do have some skins in the beta too. You can buy those with the renown points. I've bought a couple myself from the tech test.
You know what they say? Skins equals wins.
Yes.
That's what you need to know as we are going back on into the action. Akira rocking smoke, something I'm quite enjoying. We saw how prominent Smoke can be in holding these kind of choke points with his, is it 2? You get 3 gas grenades.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of delaying. You can really bring the timer down.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it a couple of rounds ago where he just kept throwing the smokes at the breach charge that was at the garage to delay them, and he seems to be doing the same thing now this round.
Now look at game over. He's just in the drone view. He's definitely trying to get some sort of eye line on him. In the meantime, Wall of China has taken down Jehu, so that's the IQ player down already. Let's see if I can get it 4 out of 4, and if the dev team can extend their lead again.
We seem to have like a repeat scenario on most of the maps, is where they're slow, and then you get to the 1.5 minute mark, 1 minute mark, and everybody starts coming in, the fighting starts, and I think they just want to get the picks, a couple of picks before they move up.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to prove a bit of a difficulty for Rogue Warchief and the boys. This time he is implementing Sledge as his operator.
Yeah. And you got here, you can see in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, Wall of China. What he's doing right here is using the cameras. You can't see it, but he has access to all the cameras inside the house. He's trying to get visibility. It's a really smart spot to hide too, because the objective is nowhere near them. They're not going to check you. Exactly, okay. Yeah. Oh, I guess he's in his gun right now. But he's typically going to be checking out the cameras. This is going to be interesting though right now. They're very close.
So Rogue Warchief, the interior designer, is going to be checking out, seeing what he fancies in this new bedroom. Looks like he's going to add a couple of bullets to the floorboards at this point, but there is a player in there. That's going to be what was considered a safe position by Chris, but no, he's going to get checked. He gets brought down low, but not low enough, as this bullet is going to actually force Rogue Warchief to back away. Compact Killer surely going to take him down. Just throw in the frag grenade, and that's going to be 1 man down.
No, he's still up. Down, but not out. He's not even DBNO yet. There we go, yeah.
So he just hit the floor, hit the deck, and confused me, but Wall of China now down, and that's the equalizer that the attackers needed.
So there's a trade-off. He's away from his team. He's not inside the fortress, but it forces the other guys to make a decision. Do we go kill him? Do we need to clear out the rest of the house?
You'd almost kind of dub that like a lurk role, whereby you sit back from the rest of the body of the defense and can catch players off guard with that. I think that's something we're probably going to be seeing more and more of. Another frag comes in for the devs yet again as Compact Killer, the clutch master, is not going to be doing anything else in this round. 40 seconds left, he's diving down. This is going to be a risky play. Doesn't check his corner. This is going to be horrible. Swings around, not going to find it. Tempest is going to be bringing the storm. And now we see 30 seconds and just 2 attackers left.
Yeah, you got 1 here in DBNO. His teammates should go and pick him up. It looks like he is right now. This will give him...
no time. No way has he got time to bring him up and get that bomb down.
That's true, 20 seconds, yeah.
He's going to make a decision, and it's an executive decision to bring Blood and Glory back. They're going to have such a mountain to climb in terms of time.
They know. They look at them. They're pushing up now. They know they got 10 seconds left. They have to get in there.
They surely don't have enough time. They need to find frags right now. Spraying the wall wildly. Nothing going to happen. And the devs, they are raising their hands to the skies. They are just 1 round away from victory here.
Yeah. And at the end there, little quick thing I wanted to talk about is you saw him start shooting through the doorway. And as he started strafing to the right, he kept shooting through the wall, tried to get a couple of shots through the wall. It didn't work out. They lost a round.
Things are heating up here in the studio, as it does seem like we are going to be seeing the devs get 1 step closer to beating the veterans 2-0. I say veterans.
Veterans.
The best veterans.
Veterans, yeah.
They are, of course, you heard it if you missed it, where they are from. We've got like kind of title holders from all the previous Rainbow titles. Compact Killer was the man who was at the top of the ladders from the tests you were doing, the technical runs. So you've got pretty much a tall list of talent for the Rainbow Six.
These guys know what they're doing. They do know what they're doing. They won the GamesCon again. They won convincingly as well here, and I mean, I won't lie, it's nice to see the devs pulling ahead.
I can tell there's smiles all around in this day. I keep kind of turning around, all I just see is people with Rainbow Six shirts on with a big smug grin creeping onto their face. But we are going on back into the action. We are into that 40-second setup phase. This time it's the veterans' turn to set up a defense, and they are going to be bringing a similar set with the addition of Pulse and Rook.
And they changed the objective. No longer in the basement. This isn't the master bedroom. So what I brought up earlier about the floor, you can see it's all wood right now. Underneath, you have the dining room. You can spray up, shoot their feet. I mean, you can use a nitrocell to take it out for the defenders too. So I'm going to be curious to see how they handle the verticality destruction here.
Where is that drone going? He's on a wild rampage, definitely trying to stay alive. And it does look like he's... oh my god, this drone parkour finally does end. There we go. And we're back into the main 4 minutes. 4 minutes is the body of the gameplay for these rounds. Best of 5 on the beta, best of 7 here. And we are viewing this, of course, through the caster cam, which will be made available later on through the beta.
Yeah, again, I didn't see, we might have missed it quickly, but I don't know if they took out the camera that's outside yet. It's just to the left-hand side here, but I mean, these guys know what they're doing. There's a good chance they took it out, we just didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, you would assume it's the priority in the same way that setting up barricades for the defenders is. Your drone and your camera destruction is going to be for the attackers.
Yeah.
So, they did find the objective. It was actually, it was Robot Garden who scouted that one out with his drone play.
Let's take a look at where all the defenders are. Right now I see 3. There's a 4th. I think I'm missing 1. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
So you see where the objective is. Yeah, the objective is in the master bedroom, but they're spread out everywhere inside the map right now. You're talking about lurkers before. They're all lurkers at the moment.
I mean, it's 2 very different styles of gameplay. The devs, they have like 4 of the 5 all grouped up on the site. Now we're seeing the veterans just spread themselves quite thin.
Yeah.
I mean,
they want to catch the flanks. I think they want to get them in the back. They want to catch them not looking in the corners that they're not supposed to be in.
It adds an element of unpredictability, but it also means that, you know, you're going to die off one by one if you're not too careful.
That's it. I mean, it works. We played this way before too. It's just not optimal and it's risky.
I think the first kind of action may very well be going down with our main man here, Tempest, as he's got 2 players who are just on the other side of the wall. 3 players, in fact. He's in a perfect angle. He's got very kind of comfortable line of sight. I don't know how visible he is through those blinds.
It's tough to see, but you can see them. What I'm surprised is that all those walls you saw in the interior, all the red walls, you can shoot through. You should just take pot shots every so often to see if you get a hit. You know, the wall tears down fairly easily. So, I mean, start spraying the walls a little bit. There you can see he's handling it, and he's got the right idea. That's one of the devs, by the way. They're familiar with this.
You know all their corners they need to check. So, halfway into this round and still no blood drawn. A whole lot of information gathered though, and you can see, look at this, just tiptoeing around the site, desperately trying to keep it safe. 1 man, who is that on the attacking side? The devs have made good progress into the site. And it's Jehu, J-Cash, and Compact Killer with a bit of a crossfire setup.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to hop in through this window here. I think he knows the risks involved, but he's still staying there. He's debating it.
That's going to be it though. Game Over does get the first. Is that going to be the start of this snowball down the mountain? It's going to be getting faster and faster.
That was actually very cool. If you can hop back into Rogue War Chief real quick on Bandit, you can see he made a little hole there in the back stairs, and Sek's coming in.
This is going to be tough. Sek surely going to be going down. No, actually does just get away with his life. Now, 60 seconds left. They're going to be desperately trying to find something as the attackers did lose their first man, and they're looking to still make their way in. Devs, of course, 1 round away from picking up this victory. And Akira does get the equalizer. It's Jehu J-Cash who obliges, catching that nade. And Wall of China's not finished yet. Compact Killer now down. The devs are looking to blow this myth of first frag picks up the round. Blood and Glory does equalize though. It's going to keep going. Back and forth we go. This is exactly what you were just talking about. He sees the shield. He needs to find a way in. He's going to melee him down. Blood and Glory gets the second. Shoves the knife into the chest of Akira. Now he could very well get the third. No is the answer. And the devs prevail in true stylish fashion. Blood and Glory with a knife. He's living up to his name as well.
With 2 knives. With 2 knives. Whoa. 1 on Momtang, who has the shield. That's the right thing to do, by the way. You need to rush him and kind of get up close, but that was unexpected. Really unexpected. Look, they're hyped. It's awesome.
Unexpected not only for the shield bearer, but also the Blood and Glory player picking up those 2 knife kills. A nice way to maneuver around that big objective.
We're not expecting that at all. Not even a little bit. Very cool. Very cool to see that. Smart too. I mean, you got a big shield in front of you. You're spraying him. It doesn't do anything.
I think I was 5 out of 5, by the way, Chris. I don't know if I want to remind you, but I think I am basically the top analyst of Rainbow Six right now.
It's working out.
Just calling it right now, dropping some knowledge bombs with my theories. No, but I think what we've learned, we can take just a second to kind of recap what we've learned from that one. Knifing, viable.
Yep.
There you go, courtesy of Blood and Glory. Another thing we've learned a lot about is, of course, the importance of that first frag, because
that's a very good point. I've never even thought about that before. Yeah. It seems like you're really at a disadvantage early on if that man goes down. I mean, we do have the DBNO too, so if you go down and not out, back up, get revived, you should be okay. But that first man down, like you said, I mean, 5 for 5, it's not a good call.
And I mean, we keep talking about DBNO. You kind of just said down but not out, but. Yeah. I mean, just for everyone at home, just make it really clear what exactly that mechanic is.
So if you get shot anywhere in the body, you take lethal damage, you go down but not out. You can be revived by any of your teammates. while you're down but not out, you can hold your blood in essentially, and you die.
Got your fingers on your
yeah,
veins.
that's it. You just and you die slower, but you cannot move while you're doing this. So that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's also another vein of this one. See that link between blood and vein? There's another vein to this discussion as well, is that we did just see a little bit of PvP. We saw 2 games on 2 different maps unfold. We're going to be seeing more PvP, but on the other side of things, away from that side of multiplayer, there's more to it, Chris. And I just want to know what you're going to be talking about in that regard.
We're going to have the vets here now. They're going to be playing realistic on our PvE. I believe it is on Consulate night, I believe.
Okay.
Don't take my word for that, but it is on Consulate. They had the opportunity to play it briefly before. They did not do so well. Again, it is a realistic setting, so they're going to be hopping into that shortly, getting a preview of what our PvE terrorist hunt is. It's a standard terrorist hunt. You got to clear it out. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, well, you heard what Chris has got to say about it. We're going to see what Jen has to say as she's hanging by on the sofa to talk a little bit more about what Terror Hunt has to offer.
Yeah, indeed, we are actually going to be having not only PvP in our closed beta, but also we're going to have PvE, so PvE.
PvE, yeah.
So it's going to be Terrorist Hunt Classic. So this is going to be the first time that our players are going to be able to experience it.
Yes.
Daniel, tell us a little bit. What is Terrorist Hunt Classic?
First of all, one thing that we need to mention is that all the co-op stuff that we have, we call Terrorist Hunt. So all the game modes that are playable co-op are called Terrorist Hunt. They go in that bucket. So one game mode, for example, at E3, we showed Disarm Bomb, which was pretty intricate. You had to bring the diffuser to a bomb, then defend the diffuser to disarm the bomb, and so on and so forth. So that's one of the game mode. The other that we're having at beta is Terrorist Hunt Classic.
Yes.
So the classic part of it is
a little bit more legacy.
Yes, it's legacy. This has been in Rainbow Six games forever. This is something we're happy to bring back as well. So the objective is pretty simple, as Chris said. It's you have X number of enemies in the map, and you need to dispatch, to say politely. Dispatch.
Yeah, you always say it so politely.
Yes,
like, kill the bad guys. Destroy them.
You destroy the enemies in the map to win the match. So it's pretty simple, but it's still can be pretty hard, as we might see later.
Because we're gonna have 3 levels of difficulty available also in the closed beta, right?
Yes, we're gonna have a normal, hard, realistic. It's very important.
No easy.
No easy.
Never
on
easy
Rainbow
in Rainbow
Six, there's never easy. Normal, hard, realistic. It's really important to us to try it, to test it with the community, because we want to know if we have the right level of difficulty for each one of them. We want to keep the high lethality, high tension, even in Terrorist Hunt. We want the same feeling of you can get down really fast if you don't pay attention, if you don't communicate. So it's really important for us to test out, especially for realistic, to have like that really intense feeling when you play.
So in the past, we've actually shown only attacks so far in terms of Terrorist Hunt Classic. We will also have defend, but just to reiterate on the attacking side, we're going to be having Terrorist Hunt Classic that people will be able to showcase today. You only get attacking operators on that.
Yes.
Another one that we've shown previously, actually, if you were watching our live stream yesterday on the Ubisoft Twitch channel, we were doing the Ubisoft Charity Jam, collecting money. For the Breakfast Club of Canada, and we showed a little bit of what our game has to offer with Disarm Bomb.